Hello, I'm Rythian, and this is Overwatch. The beta is finally here, and I've been playing. I've mostly been playing two heroes, Pharah, which is what you're seeing right now, offensive powerhouse using rocket launchers and all kinds of cool stuff, and also Mercy, who is best described as the medic from TF2, sort of. She's got like a healing gun and everything. I kind of tend to focus on individual heroes a lot when I play games like this. I've been playing with the rest of the people in the Yogscast. Shin, Zoe, Silas, Lewis, Duncan. They've all been sort of switching around heroes a lot, but I've been sticking with one. I like to really get my hands around and understand a lot by playing a hero for a long period of time, rather than just switching when I feel like it's better or worse. I just figured I'd take this video to sort of like talk about how it's been so far, my general opinions, and first off, it's really fun. I can't see a way this is not going to be a hit, because well, I can't. We'll get into it later. But mostly, honestly, the gameplay is just really good. It's quick, it's fun, explosive. Visual design is great, audio design is superb, and team play is really fun. Especially when you find it's the classic stuff, like from TF2, the medic heavy combination, like scout sneaking into capture objectives, engineer building turrets. You have a lot of those similarities here. You basically have Mercy as the medic, and someone like Reinhardt or Bastion or whatever as a tanky like DPSer will be heavy. You've got the Tracer for your scout. You've got Reaper kind of like the spy, and Tourbillon is basically your engineer. I mean, I'm stretching these analogies a little bit, but it's basically to tell you, like, if you have played TF2, sort of what you can sort of expect. And it works really well, and it plays so smooth, and it's quick, it's fun, and I like it a lot. Now, the main thing you need to imagine, like a lot of people is thinking of this as sort of like, you know, a MOBA, but you control like first-person shooter. Not really. This is a shooter. Like, this is definitely a first-person shooter. Like, yeah, you have like special abilities and stuff, but don't go in thinking that it's not something it isn't. This is pretty much TF2. On a payload map and attack and defend so far. You have a lot of cool shit you can do, which is what makes it really entertaining. For example, I've been playing, like I said, mostly Pharah, that you see in this video. I have a jetpack, which lets me, you know, hover in midair and like even fly higher up. And I have like a boost jetpack that jumps me high up. I have the rocket launcher, I have a concussive shot, and my ultimate, and yes, here's some ultimates in this, just unload tons and tons of rockets. It's quite strong, and she's very offensive. There's like 4 or 5 heroes in the 4 different roles so far in the beta. You have attack, you have defense, you have tank, and you have support. And you want to make sure your team has a good mix of each. You want to have some sort of solid support. You want to have some tanks to be your frontliners and, you know, defenders and so on. And of course you want some damage, so you get your Soldier 76s, your Pharahs, your Tracers, and so on and so on. It works really well. And one of the best things I find about it is when you're making your team, there's like a little tip in the screen saying like, oh, you don't have any sniper, you're low on damage, you could use some support. Just sort of like tell people what's a good idea to pick. You don't have to pick that. If you were going up against a defense map, you could go 6 bastions to stand as turrets if you want to, and that will be a pain in the ass for the enemy to deal with, but in the long run that won't really be a great team, I don't think, because yeah, Bastion is tough, but if you sneak behind him you can just kill them all. So as always, you want a good mix of heroes, of course. It feels... honestly, like, this feels the least like a Blizzard games of all the games I played. And that's not really a negative or a positive, it just sort of feels. is new. This is new ground. This doesn't really have any of the stuff that you've seen from Blizzcon. I mean, for one thing, it's set on Earth, you know. The future, the characters are way more human than they've been before. Although, you know, there's obviously sentient Buddhist robots and stuff, and like ghost men with millions of shotguns and stuff. So there is that. But for the most part, this is very new. It's good though. It's very good. You're getting into, like, I think really people will start to like characters beyond just their gameplay as well. They all have their backstory and stuff, but the backstory isn't at all in the game. Like, that stuff is all basically on their website, and you can like find short stories and information and stuff. The game is just flat out, okay, here you go, pick a hero, go, win. And you just keep playing. It's 6 versus 6. So far all maps have either been straight up attack defense, or straight up payload, or first one then the other. You know, either you move a payload to a place then defend it, or you first defend a place and then unlock a payload to move. So it's very straightforward in that. I don't know if they're gonna put in a lot more game modes. These seem to work fine so far, and it's a classic thing for a game like this, and I think it's important because I don't really think team deathmatch would really work in a game with this many roles. You could probably do it, but then you sort of feel like a lot of heroes, like people who build turrets or the healers or the support classes, won't really work the same way as just like someone like a soldier or a McCree or someone that just goes in and shoots you and gets kills. The ultimates is a cool thing, cool system. You basically charge them up by taking and dealing damage, or just doing your thing. Like, if you're playing Mercy or a healer, you charge it up by healing a lot. And if you play Torbjorn, which is your Torbjorn, I keep pronouncing it the American way, even though he's actually Swedish. So really should just call him Torbjorn. But he's like a Swedish guy, myth boy, who builds turrets. He's cool. He looks a bit like a dwarf, but he's just short, okay? Don't get on his back about it. So you build up your turret, and then like your ultimate, and every hero has their own ultimate. Like, that's also part of how each heroes are different, in that they have different weapons, different skills, and different ultimates. Someone might have like a really strong base damaging spell, like Farah's left click or rocket launchers are really strong. That's what she's gonna do most of the time. Bastion's main strength lies in shifting to like immobile mode, where it's like a shielded turret thing, while someone like Mercy is all about the left heal, and then her ultimate, which is just resurrect, which is pretty big. So when it comes to balancing, you have a lot of knobs to tune to like make it great. You say like, oh man, Reaper is too strong because the vulnerability given from his Wraith form is too long. They can just lower that a little bit, and so on. There's no items so far. Like, you don't like pick up different weapons or anything. You spawn with everything you have, and then you're good to go, and you just blast through your enemies as well as you can. Different heroes can give you shields or armor packs and stuff. There's also healers and so on. And there's a few heroes that have speed boosts or teleports and stuff that help you get closer to where you want to be. Generally, that sort of stuff is very important, especially if you can get a working teleporter up from Symmetra. If you can have, because otherwise it's a really long way to go to reach the payload again. You really want to make sure that you can go there quickly, so you want to make sure you have a teleporter. Or you have a Lucio that boosts everyone's speed, and so on and so on. It all sort of adds up, and it all works really well as a group. I don't think this is like the greatest thing ever, and it's not. If you don't like FPSs, I don't know if you're gonna like this one. It is a shooter, and you're gonna have to do that sort of thing. But like, I think honestly, more than anything, if you had fun in TF2 before that went crazy with all its hats and weird items, then this would be the thing for you. You have this great team play aspect, and you have Like with different heroes, a lot of different ways to be good without being the best at aiming. But if you are really good at aiming, there's a couple of heroes right up your alley, and you do really well. One of the coolest things in the game is like once you get to the end screen, you get to see play of the game, which is something the game does automatically, and like figures out one of the coolest moments and then just replace it with badass music. Like this, when Reaper snuck in and used his ulti and killed like 9 million of us in one go. That was a pretty cool moment, and imagine how cool that feels for him as well. It's very slick, it's very fast, it's polished, it's good. It's I think this is gonna be pretty big. It all depends though. We've said this before, but it all depends on the business model. For me at least, and for a lot of other people I think. If they're gonna make this like every hero is free to play, you can buy cosmetics, then excellent. But if they go like Heroes of the Storm, you have to buy heroes and stuff when they come out, that's gonna kill a lot of people's interest in it. I think it's all up to Blizzard, honestly. I would be happy just buying the game once with a set amount of money and then having every hero from there on out. Or just having it for free and then buying skins and stuff. I can see myself buying lots of cool skins. Anything but pay for heroes. I really hope that's not the case. I guess we'll see though. Either way, I guess this is about it for the first impressions. This, by the way, was like my first game played, so I probably didn't do very well. I'm getting better as I go. It's a lot about getting the hang of a hero and really like learning when to use what ability, and of course practicing your aim, because you do need to aim pretty well. It is a shooter, after all. Don't trick yourself into anything else. But that's about it for first impressions. I think you'll find a whole bunch of the Oxcast will be streaming a lot of this, and I know there's a couple of videos coming out on the main channel as well. We played as a group and had lots of fun. I think there's lots of Overwatch stuff coming if you're into that stuff, and I hope you are. I know I'm gonna have fun with this as well. So until next time, goodbye.